Hi, welcome. Today we're going to be talking about what to do with problems that we can't solve on our own. So today we're going to focus on bigger problems or just more overwhelming problems. So to start us off, we're going to listen to our Step It Up video. And today you're going to practice listening with attention by listening for the phrase, make your plan. I want you to count how many times you hear that in the video, and we'll see how well you were able to do with listening with attention.
Here's a great way to remember. Keep it strong in your head, yeah. After the storm of strong emotions, here's the way to solve the problem, yeah. I said step. I just remember to step. Oh, child. You say the problem out loud now. Nothing solutions that may work on how. Explore consequences, what would happen if. Now pick the best solution and make your plan, yeah. You got to step up to be cool, yeah. Give your power now. After the storm of strong emotion, solve the problem now. Now listen to me, all you good people. There's nothing wrong with strong emotion, but after you calm it down, you still got a problem, see? Now you gotta fix it, and you can. Oh, you step up. Let me show ya. Say you're in line and a kid come cuts in front of ya. Whoa, that make you mad, brothers and sisters. So feel it and calm it and take another look, yeah. Whoa, let me show you now. You see the problem out loud now. You both want to be first in line. No blame. Now think solutions that may work and how. Now these gotta be safe and respectful. No pushing, no shoving. See? Explore consequences. What would happen if? How will other people feel? How will you feel? Will it work? Now pick the best solution and make your plan, yeah. Choose it and act on it. You got to step up to be cool, yeah. Give your power now. After the storm of strong emotion, solve the problem now. You say the problem out loud now. Now think solutions that may work on how. Explore consequences, what would happen if. Now pick the best solution and make your plan, yeah. You got to step. I just remember to step. Oh, child, say you wanna step. You got to step. Oh yeah, step.
All right, the key words were make your plan. When I show you my screen, I'm going to hold up the amount of times they said that in the video and see if you got the same number. 3 times. They said it 3 times. If you were listening with attention, you should have gotten that one correct. Today, again, let me remind you, we're going to be talking about what to do when problems are too big or overwhelming to solve or handle on our own. So to start us off with that, I'm going to show you a picture of a boy. It's a character, but I want you to be thinking about what emotions would he probably be having. And maybe you can relate to the picture. I know I can. So let me show it to you, and then you tell me what are the emotions that he's probably facing. All right, here's our picture. All right, give you a minute to read all of the different things. Looks like there's a basketball barely hanging on it. It says practice. That makes me think he probably has basketball practice. Oh my goodness, look at all these papers. Homework. Schoolwork, he's got a bag of problems he's got to deal with. Tests, oh, maybe he's feeling a little sick from all of that stress. And yep, he's got some chores to do at home. I remember what that was like. And he also wants to have time with his friends. It looks like he's not standing on both feet. The emotions that I think he's probably feeling are frustrated, maybe overwhelmed. His eyes look really tired. And when I'm sick, I'm really tired. And maybe he's worried about making sure he can balance all of these different things in his life. I know that I've experienced similar things, and I'm going to need to make a plan on how to solve those problems. Maybe he can use the step model that we've talked about, solving problems or conflicts with other people, to solve his own conflict with, I need to be able to finish all of these things and still manage my chores and be with my friends and go to practice and even sleep. I need to take care of my body and sleep. So we're going to review this. First one says, S is say the problem. So I need to name it without blaming. So, my teacher gave me a ton of homework. It's all my teacher's fault. Well, no, everybody else is able to do it. I just maybe have more things that I need to balance. Oh, my coach says I need to come to practice 15 minutes early every time so I can run before we start. It's not your coach's problem. It's not their fault, so don't blame them for it. It is the reality, so just do what you need to do to face that. T, think of solutions. So 2 things we're going to be thinking about is 1, is my solution safe? And is it respectful? So, let's see. I'm going to stay up all night, get my homework done, and then maybe go to bed at 4 a.m. and then wake up and go to school the next day at 7. That means 3 hours of sleep. That's not really safe. And it's not respectful to your body and to your well-being. Let's see. Maybe I could just skip out on doing my homework. Or maybe I could skip out on talking to my friends. Well, is that really respectful to yourself? Not doing my homework makes it hard for me to learn in school. So really, it's disrespecting yourself in that way. Maybe your friends. It's not respectful to just ditch them, right? We need to come up with a better solution. E, explore consequences. Consequences could be good or bad. A positive consequence of managing your time well is that I can fulfill all of the things I need to do. It's safe and respectful. That's a positive consequence. Also, we think of consequences as negative. You will face the consequences for what you have done. Well, if I stay up all night, consequences, I'm going to be really tired the next day and maybe I won't learn in class. And then the homework that night will be even harder. Probably not the best solution. And the last one is P, pick the solution. So you want to find the one that has the most amount of positive consequences and the least amount of negative. And it's both safe and, that other word was, respectful. Awesome. So sometimes when we have conflicts, either with ourselves, our schedules, or with other people, they may be really overwhelming to manage. Maybe I'm feeling the way he's feeling, and I need to make a plan. Last time we had our second step video, we talked about making a plan and making multiple step plan. That's a great strategy. But sometimes it's even harder than that. Sometimes it may be so overwhelming we don't even know where to start. That would be a good time to seek help. A few weeks ago, we talked about resilience. Resilience is being able to bounce back from adversity, or what I mean by adversity, I mean hard times. And in that video, we talked about how it is powerful to ask people for assistance. If I try to do everything on my own, I'm going to be exhausted, and maybe I'm not doing my best. Maybe I'm not being kind enough to people because I'm too tired. We're not going to be able to do everything on our own. Today, we're going to be exploring a situation and watching a video about, let me see what, it looks like it's Caden again. We saw Caden earlier in our series back when we were in school. And he's going to be presented with a problem that he needs to ask for assistance. Specifically asking, you can ask for adults' assistance depending on what the severity of the problem is, but maybe even a peer Can you ask your friend to help you with an assignment? Can you ask your friend to give you some suggestions or maybe do part of the problem solving with you? Totally. I know sometimes we don't want to ask for help because we want to just do it on our own, which is great, but not all the time. Sometimes it can be more harmful than it is helpful. So, the best way to do this is to be assertive. Let me say that word again, assertive. We talked about being assertive in class, specifically when somebody's bothering you. And I gave you the example of saying the phrase, please stop. By saying that, we're being kind because we're saying please. And we're also being respectful because we're not shouting at them or yelling at them. And we're being respectful to ourselves because we're being assertive and asking for what we need. It's not mean. It just depends on the tone that you use. For example, please stop. It's kind of mean, right? I wouldn't want to listen to somebody who did that to me. And also, on the other end of that, we can be passive. Being passive is like, please stop. They're not going to take you seriously if you do that. So being assertive means you have a strong tone or just a more serious tone. In this case, we're not going to be asking somebody to stop. In this case, we're going to be asking for help. But if you come up to, let's say, the teacher and you're having a hard time with your homework. So let's say you come up to Miss Bergstrom and you say, can you please help me with my homework? I don't know how to do it. I'm not going to be willing or want to help you because I don't know if you're being serious or not, or if you're just joking and trying to make it silly. On the other end of that, if you say, I need your help, do you think I would be wanting to help you in that situation? Maybe, maybe not. So considering your tone, making it serious, not aggressive, but also standing up for yourself and saying, I really could use some help right now, is the best way to be assertive when you need some assistance. So today we're going to explore problems that are best solved by getting help from a trusted adult. Using the problem-solving steps, you'll pick asking for help as the best solution. So we're going to kind of skip past the first couple. We're going to explore the consequences and then pick the best solution. Well, I guess this is the best solution, but we are going to talk about what the consequences are and what are the positives of asking for help. So as you're watching this, I want you to think about what Caden needs to do to get his project done. Looking for how he calms himself down from the strong emotions, and then thinking, if I were Caden, what would I need to do in order to take the next step and solve my problem?
About 2 weeks ago, a teacher sent a big project. If I had started working on it right away, everything would be okay. But now everything's not okay. The project is due on Monday and I still haven't started. I'm so far behind and I don't even know where to begin. Plus, I have to practice every day after school. And this weekend, I have to help babysit my little brother while my mom's at work. Okay. I know I have to calm down. I'll just say what the problem is. I have a project due next week and I haven't started yet. Now, if I could just think of a solution. Maybe I could pretend to be sick on Monday. I know. I could ask him if I could copy his paper and turn it in. I could just do it really fast and hope it looks okay. When I thought about the consequences, I realized none of the ideas I first came up with were going to be very good. So I still had a really big problem and I didn't know what to do about it. Finally, I decided to ask an adult for help. I decided to ask my teacher what I could do.
Great ideas. I know sometimes we want to find the easiest way out. So when he says, maybe I'll just be sick on Monday, I was like, well, it would put off the problem for a little while, but what happens when you go back on Tuesday? It's just going to be a bigger problem, isn't it? He also said maybe I could copy off my friend's paper. But let's think, would the teacher be able to figure that out? And would I have a good conscience about it? Or would I feel bad about copying my friend? So probably not the best solutions. I want you to think about right now, what did he pick and why did he pick it? Okay. Last thing I want you to think about is, what did he do to calm himself down? The music and his thoughts kept on building and building and building. And he says, I have practice after school. I have to babysit on the weekend. I have all these things to do. His problem is just getting bigger and bigger and bigger. That negative self-talk, that pressure on your brain is causing his frontal lobe not to be able to think properly, not to be able to solve the problem and come up with a solution. He calmed that amygdala down by taking some deep breaths and really sorting through his emotions, processing that. So I really liked that process. Let's see what he does to solve this problem.
When I thought about the consequences, I realized none of the ideas I first came up with were going to be very good. So I still had a really big problem and I didn't know what to do about it. Finally, I decided to ask an adult for help. I decided to ask my teacher what I could do. I practiced how I'd ask because I knew it wasn't going to be easy. I was afraid she'd be mad at me. I knew I'd be a little embarrassed too. I planned to go early to school because I knew my teacher would be there and it would be quiet in the room. Miss Rosen, I need to talk to you about our project. I haven't started to work on it yet and I really need some help. Would you help me?
Okay, Caden. I appreciate your taking responsibility and asking for help. Let's see what we can do.
What did you think about that? Could you relate to him maybe feeling nervous to ask for help, especially from the person who assigned the project? I know I would feel a little bit of jitters about asking as well. I want you to think about what it would be like to be in that teacher's shoes, though. So think right now, if I had a student, if I was a teacher, and I assigned a project, and I expected the kids to do it, by Monday. And let's say one of them comes on Friday and says, I haven't even started this project. I don't even know where to begin. Think about how you might be feeling as a teacher. Okay. On the other side of that, think about how you would react if you had a student who came to you in an assertive manner, showing that they were serious, and then they truly wanted some help. How you would solve that or how you would perceive that. I know that when I have somebody come to me and ask me for some assistance and they're being genuine about it, I am more willing to help them than if they were to come on Monday and say that I didn't do it because I didn't know how to do it. I would rather somebody ask for help and show me that they're serious about their learning than putting it off and acting like maybe they don't care, even if they do. Same thing with any other problems. Let's say that there's a problem, I don't know, maybe between you and your friend, and you two can't sort through that on your own. I would be willing to help because you would be taking it seriously. Let's say you have a friend come up to you and say, oh, Ashley took my jacket and she won't give it back, and now she's taking my other friend and blah, blah, blah. If you just come and you're complaining and blaming and not being calm about it, I'm sure you're less likely to want to help. Versus if you had somebody come to you and ask you in a calm, collected, but serious manner, you would approach that a little differently. I really liked how he was assertive with sharing honestly where he's at and being humble enough to ask. I think a lot of us, sometimes our pride gets in the way and we just want to do it on our own or just not do it at all. And so I really respected that with him. And I'm sure many adults in your life would respect that if you approach them in an assertive, calm and serious way. So that's all I have for you today. Let me see what our lesson will be for next week. It looks like that we're going to be talking about dealing with gossip which will be really helpful for middle school. And I might mix in there a little bit with dealing with some peer pressure. So pressure from friends or acquaintances, people at your age. So we'll be talking about those different topics next week. I hope that you tune in next week because those skills are hard to develop, and I really would love to have a dialogue with you about it.